Hey, what's going on, everyone? Seth here for Adorama TV, coming to you from Amsterdam for IBC 2024, the International Broadcasting Conference. This is where all the big announcements happen. This is like NAB, but worldwide. We got some big releases from Aputure, Blackmagic, OWC, so many brands to go check in on. This is only day one. We're gonna get that floor until we can find, but stick with this channel because we're gonna upload videos from every day of this conference. But for now, let's go see what we can find out on the first day. You know, we had to swing by Blackmagic, and there's always something big going on, but this is really big. I mean, seriously, this is a 17K 65mm format sensor camera. I mean, look at this. Bob, what?
It's massive.
What? Wait, what? So this is the URSA line, first of all.
Correct. URSA Cine 17K 65 is the model number. Again, 17K sensor. We're shooting Blackmagic RAW. We have integrated storage. That's an 8TB block that's removable. So
these are M.2 drives.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this way you can, and we have a dock that we've made so you can move the files that way. You can also, there's antennas so you can do it off of Wi-Fi, but there's also a 10 gig Ethernet port over here. And you'll also notice there's two monitors, right? So we have the monitor out front here that can be used, but we also have one for focus pulling or whatever you want to do over here. So we have two different monitors. We have the new EVF, URSA Cine EVF that's available. Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about 65mm sensor size. So 17K resolution, 65mm sensor size, which means different lens mount, right? So you're saying it comes with the L mount?
Right. So we have L mount, we have a PL mount, and the Hasselblad mount for the H series lenses.
Yeah, which is very cool to see. I mean, we're talking about a larger surface plane, so it's kind of cool to see that you're getting some. You can probably hit the used market for H series lenses and go crazy for something like this. But I mean, this is where did this come from? Why is URSA pushing resolution so much, and how did it end up going into 65mm format?
Right. So we really wanted it to be the availability to do sort of IMAX capture, right? In not film, but in digital film.
Right.
So that's really where that came from. And then down the line, we also announced, which isn't going to be shipping yet, but is a different version of this camera that it's called the Immersive, because it does 8K in each eye for Apple Vision Pro, so they can do stereoscopic 8K.
You got that real estate on that sensor, why not,
Correct,
right?
correct.
And that's just the start, because you can probably apply that to a lot of different things like VR, all sorts
all of those things, right?
Yeah. So what are we looking at as like a price point on something like this?
Right, so the camera itself starts at $30,000, and then with the EVF, it's about $31,500.
Which sounds crazy, but if you understand like IMAX level stuff, kind of more accessible, right?
Oh, absolutely. This is much less expensive than other options in that area, but that's the other thing. I mean, we're good about enabling the masses, and this is one of those steps.
Yeah, that's definitely, I mean, you have like the whole system from software to the hardware and everything in between.
Exactly. It comes with DaVinci Resolve software, so you can deal with these files natively.
And it's Blackmagic RAW, don't forget about that. If you love Blackmagic RAW, now you have it in 65mm format, 17K. I can't stop saying this because I'm trying to get it in my skull. I know I sound like a hype man right now, but 17K 65mm format, and it's real. Is this so? When is the availability?
This will be shipping in the next month or two, I think. But you know, the idea really is that we wanted to get people to understand where we're going. So we had the 12K, the new 12K that's shipping now.
Yeah.
And then this is just the next step in cinematic production.
And really quick, you're not married to the mount. It's swappable. You don't order it with the mount.
Right. Well, you'll come with an L mount, but then there's an EF version, the PL version, the Hasselblad, so you can change mounts. Yes.
And who knows what you're going to see from here as the system grows, but this is a pretty killer start. What? This is nuts. We'll put links down below, obviously. I'm still wrapping my head around this, but this is very cool to see, and I love seeing stuff get more and more accessible, especially when it's higher end, hitting more user hands. Rental houses, who knows what's going to happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh man, thank you so much,
Hey,
man.
my pleasure.
It's a conference, it's a trade show, which means I gotta go to Aputure, which means I gotta go to see Ted over here. But Ted's like texts me, he's like, yo, I got this thing coming.
We do.
He starts calling me, yo, you gotta come see this thing.
Is correct.
Then all of a sudden, the 1200 Storm comes out. This is a serious light, but not just power, fidelity,
yes,
right?
100%.
All right, there's a lot to talk about here, so it's gonna get nerdy. First of all, forget about CRI.
We're not talking about CRI anymore. It's not adequate. If you have a 99% CRI, that can mean all kinds of awful things for skin tones, for colors, all kinds of things off the the map. We're talking about SSI.
SSI is a different standard of actually measuring how accurate a light is based on a whole nother system, actually. Because CRI is based on a spectrum, but SSI is based off of what?
Yeah, so SSI, we are literally measuring the exact spectrum of light that you're trying to cover, and then we do an area-to-area mapping, and how much of the percent do you cover? So CRI, we're just testing like green, do they look kind of the same? SSI means, does this exactly match the spectrum of the sun, or a fire, or some whatever you're trying to match in real daylight? So for everyone out there that's been working with LEDs and has thought, why does this not look exactly the way I want it to in terms of tungsten lights, in terms of matching daylight? The colors just look a little bit off. SSI, and a lot of that's the main reason why.
Yeah, and you'll actually find that in Sekonic light meters now as an actual, like a rating you can actually strive for inside your measurement. But let's talk about this, because you're telling me there's UV in here now, there's all sorts of stuff. So usually with a bicolor light, you actually are kind of not getting everything you can out of the daylight. Even if you set it to daylight, you're still not getting the full color spectrum you get out of daylight. You're saying that's not the case with the 1200.
That's right. So basically, this is our new Storm line of fixtures. The reason it's called Storm is because this is an entirely new line of fixtures in the way that we have upgraded not only the actual LED color engine itself, so we're going off of a Blair color engine. So normally when you mix bicolor lights, you have warm light and cool white, and you're basically mixing the two together. The problem though is that that's like a single straight line of color. This doesn't actually fill out the full spectrum. In this case, we're using 5 LEDs, our new Blair color engine, blue, lime, amber, indigo, and red. Those 5 colors together mix to create not only the full spectrum, but it actually means that normally when you do a bicolor light, you know it's brighter in the middle because it blends between the two colors. It means that you get the maximum intensity. This is brighter than the actual 1200D light, approximately 50% brighter. And again, these are the lights that were taken onto Dune 2 to create the Arrakis sun and things like that.
Nice drop, by the way.
Absolutely, we're incredibly impressed about that. We're very happy about that. But the 1200X is not only brighter than that fixture, but it's also full bicolor, and it also uses the Blair color engine, meaning that the spectrum, fidelity of light, and the output of light is now higher than ever using this new color engine.
Just so you're aware, we're being lit by one of these bouncing off of the ceiling here. It's not really the ceiling, it's another diffuser, but the fact that that's what you're seeing right now is one of these lights bouncing is, first of all, that was a nice little flex. You threw that in there.
We appreciate that. Come on, you know, we got to show off the intensity here.
I mean, you got your full spectrum, you got your full controls over here, which is nice to see, so you can actually reach it.
And then on the front here, one of the main additions that we've added here is the new Pro-Lock mount. So this is basically a PL style mount. So basically, if I come on over here, give me one sec. This is now a new locking mechanism. So previously, when you use Bones mount fixtures, you know, Bones mount convenient because it works with all your modifiers, been around forever, but with the new locking PL mount here, you now get zero rattle.
Yeah, I was about to say, you always get the rattle.
And this sounds kind of crazy, right? But this is basically something I would...
Swing it more in my face.
This is something I would never do with a traditional light, right?
Nice. Nice.
Zero shake here whatsoever.
And for what this is, I gotta tell you, this is nothing crazy.
We're talking about something that's now brighter than a 1.8K HMI. So you now have HMI level intensity with the actual intensity as far as the actual full color and fidelity that you're looking for as well here. So
yeah, with a junior mount.
Thank you.
Nice, man.
I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, you guys are always putting things out and thinking it out, but this is actually really cool to see you think about fidelity in a new way, especially with something as high end as this. Where are you going with this series now? Are we going to see 24s and even higher, or what?
So the Blair color engine again brings that color fidelity. This will be coming. We're going to be doing small, medium, large fixtures for this entire setup here with the actual Pro-Lock mount on the front as well too. So output increases across the board for all Storm fixtures. Color fidelity increases through the Blair engine that's being increased through the entire ecosystem. And then the Pro-Lock mount is also being built in. In addition to that, fully, as you'd expect, IP65 weatherproof, top to bottom here. And then of course we've got these actual weatherproof connectors as well too.
Wait, so this is IP65? No rain cover, right?
Yes, you can leave this outside in the rain. Good to go.
That's cool. All right, that's cool.
And again, we're talking about taking this in the desert and storms and things like that, as they have literally been done for movies now. This is one of the key things here to make sure that this entire ecosystem works together and is in place.
You keep on making really crazy stuff more and more accessible, which is why I think you're seeing more and more of it in use, and also some people with not major budgets being able to produce at a higher level. So I think you're really putting it out there for creators, and I know our channel definitely appreciates it. Of course, we'll put links down below. Ted, man, we're getting, look at this. Where's all the energy, man?
Good to see you, man.
What are you doing, boss? I know,
it's good to see you.
Well, if you guys want to see more from Aputure, including the Infinimat that we're bouncing light off of, check out our NAB coverage from a few months ago on this channel, and there's all sorts of stuff from Ted on this channel.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate the support, guys.
So when we were at NAB, we broke the news about Nikon acquiring Red, and now we're finally starting to see some things happen with that. This guy over here is talking about some LUTs that Red has that goes right into N-Log now?
Yes, correct. Yeah, we introduced this Red LUTs yesterday. That's one of the first steps in a hopefully longer roadmap of our collaboration. We introduced Red LUTs, which work with our cameras. And basically, you know what the LUTs do. Our consumers now can take advantage of beautiful red colors.
Instead of trying to make it work, it actually just works.
Exactly, it just works. So the first step is that the LUTs are going to work on external monitors, so you can view them live as you're recording, and later in your post-production you can burn them into your final footage.
Drop and go.
Simple as that.
And you guys are moving fast. It's only been a few months and we're already starting to see some things. I mean, this is an easy one, right? It's not hardware, but it's good to see. It's like a message,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, I mean, there is more stuff to come. Of course, there is more complex things to be developed together, but that's what we're doing. We're basically combining two strengths from Red has a lot of know-how in colors, in especially Cine color management. We of course have our own strength, so we're trying to combine both of them to get the best out of both worlds.
For me, I think one of the biggest messages about it is the backwards compatibility. I mean, this works all the way back to this D780 as a camera that's compatible.
It works with Z6. We try to, it doesn't work with everything, but it has to do with the processing engine. But we try to apply it to as many cameras as
There's
possible.
a list of full compatibility on the Nikon website. We'll put links down below. I just wanted to get you guys in the know that things are already happening with the Nikon Red deal. And if you want to know more about the whole Nikon Red deal, check out our NAB videos back a few months ago on this channel. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
DZOFILM has been on fire lately, super popular, you're seeing it everywhere, everyone's jumping onto it. A lot of cool designs, smaller lenses, a lot of things like anamorphic, but we got the Arles Prime going on here that has been growing, almost doubling in size recently, and Starix over here is going to walk me through what exactly is it about the Arles Prime, what are the characteristics of this lens line?
Yeah, we just released the B-set Arles to make the Arles series completely into 10 lenses.
Yes.
The widest angle is the 14 on the camera right now. You have the 14mm up to the 180 millimeter. So the B-set makes the Arles series more complete on the wide angle, and at the same time the telephoto angle. You will have more choice on focal length to all the application scene that you met in the Cine film production.
Yeah, I think there was like a little bit of confusion as to what the A and B series was. The B series is just the second coming of more focal lengths to choose from, filling out the set from 5 and 5 to make a full 10 lens set from A and B. So the Arles Prime, it's not that there's a difference in the lenses, they just gave you more choices in focal length. But this isn't the only series you guys have. Over here, we have the Eureka and we have the Simera. Can we go take a look at these really quick?
Yeah, sure. Sorry? What you see on the camera now here is our new T1.5 prime lens under the new brand Thypoch. Thypoch is a sub-brand of DZOFILM.
Okay.
And this is almost the most compact and lightweight.
Oh, they're tiny.
Prime lens at the same time. At T1.5, you have the very fast speed, and all this lens optic formula came from the existing photo lens. So they are already on the market for quite a long time, and actually you can find the image review on YouTube and on everywhere very easily. It can provide a very solid look at T1.5 wide open. It has also very minimum chromatic aberration, and when you put this lens, that will be E-mount for all these lenses. So when you put this lens with your E-mount camera like FX3 or other Sony Alpha camera, you have the most compact setup that you can build.
What would you say is the characteristics of these lenses?
It's very natural.
Natural. Organic.
And organic, and you have very solid looks. You can use on the FX camera that we have already seen, and you can also use on some very high standard Cine setup like the Sony Venice.
Very nimble.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can place it in the car shooting. You can place it everywhere you want. to produce the same image that you can have on the FX3.
So if you're like tired of that clinical look, this is an option for you. If you're looking for a nice tight compact set that goes from lower end, mid-range, high-ish kind of. I sound like I'm talking about every camera ever, but it really is versatile from high-end cinema to kind of like the upper end consumer range. And you're looking at it on Venice here. Like, it's crazy.
You can put FX3 on the airplane or on the edge of the car, and you can also,
no one's using this as a crash cam. No one's doing a crash cam here. But if you're looking for that different type of look that's not so overly clinical, check out this series, the Eureka, the Simera. They've already existed in the Thypoch, what's the name of it? In the photo realm, which we've covered before on this channel. But the Arles Prime, definitely you should check that out. It's a nice fleshed out system with 10 lenses in it. Oh, we got so much to talk about. Sorry, thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
One of the coolest things about shows like this is you get to see how brands are thinking, where things are going. Here at the SmallRig booth, we're looking at this prototype right here. You wouldn't know it by looking at it, but there's a Fujifilm X-H2S inside here. And with cameras getting more and more capable every day, you guys, all of us, are rigging bigger lenses, Cine lenses, adapting things. And with what they're made to do, they weren't made to be built out like that. But Peter here has been showing me exactly how to build out this Fujifilm the way he wants to, with full Cine lenses, power, and everything else. What is this Frankenstein?
Yeah, hi Seth.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Show. Guys, it's very simple. In the beginning, when starting to shoot with heavier glass and small cameras, I was just worried that I would break off the mount of the camera in a second. So a simple cheese plate underneath was the beginning of all this. I said, come on, this can be a little bit more pretty, a little bit more beautiful. And in the end, it's just the camera bolted into a cage system where the PL mount adapter is also securely tightened down here. And this is a solid construction right now here. And then the rest is pretty simple. You add a V-mount battery, you have space for SSD recording, audio recording, you have a top handle, and in the end, on the other hand, over here, you use the internal screen of the camera just to show your settings. You rig up any monitor as you want, a wireless system, a manual follow focus, an automatic one, whatever you want. The sky's the limit.
Yeah, you've had
a modular system.
Yeah, exactly. You've had all the capability inside the camera for what you want to do. Now you're talking about building it out physically for ergonomics and the accessories that you want to put on top of it to make it a full rig. Not just things to put on it, but actually optimize and expand upon it to make it do what you want it to do. Yes. Very, very cool stuff. We're going to keep an eye on this because you've been showing me a lot more ideas you have for it, but if you've been looking at your camera going, I'm doing all this type of stuff and I want to upgrade, before you upgrade that camera, think about what you can do with that camera and keep an eye on things like SmallRig, putting out prototypes like this.
Let me say one last thing. The idea is also, later you put in the camera you want. This is the Fuji X-H2S that I'm using personally for my jobs.
Right. But
we already found out a Sony FX3, FX30 would fit right in. And for many other interesting mirrorless cameras, you just adjust this base plate here on the side, that the internal flippy screen is just mounted here.
Right.
In the end, it's not just one rig for one camera, it's a Cine expansion kit, as I called it. You put in whatever you like shooting with. Thank you so much, guys.
No problem, thank you. Still things going on here at the SmallRig booth, and I got Chris with me because you got this Tribex hydraulic tripod, but it's got this Potato Jet logo on this pistol grip, which is very cool, quick action, single action. And as a filmmaker, I'm sure this is crazy. I mean, fast deploy. The one thing I really like before we try to get to it is it's good for uneven ground. So talk to me about this. How has this changed things for you?
So as a filmmaker, I work like almost every shoot with a tripod, and the main issue what I normally have is that it's heavy. It's like it takes time to do. So.
Hold on, click, click, click.
Yeah. So you have to do a lot of actions before that. And what this allows you to do is just like you can level it in one click, and it's just standing there. And I think that's something that's not been done before, because you have a lot of smooth tripods, but there's always things missing, in my opinion. So what Potato Jet and SmallRig has done is, in my opinion, the things that I would forget, the small things like an extra Allen key on here, where you can just like, if you need to screw it tight, it's in there, like the hidden key things.
Any SmallRig fan knows that everything you have has a hidden tool in there somewhere, like it's always on the cages.
Yeah, like if you, if you get...
It's that house key under the rock, you know?
Yeah.
It's the house.
Let's see. Well, this one is tight because it's a card in between. But if you see it, it has like a little one if you don't have your screwdriver with
Or
you.
that quarter that you never have because you don't pay for anything in cash anymore.
Exactly.
But the handle's also well thought out. You push this in, it's out of the way, you bring it back out, or if you just want to keep it tight, you can. Like, it doesn't have to be out in the way all the time, which is very cool. But again, I like that you can put it on uneven ground and really just quickly, if you got a step or some weird rock or something, you can do it really fast.
Yeah, and if you do document shoots, I do a lot of document shoots, and what I always have issues with is like if I put my camera on it and it's a pretty heavy setup, after a while, even though it's tightened, it will, like, you have to put so much pressure and it goes just like this, you tighten it up, it's like, you can even like hang on it, like, whoop. If you, it's crazy.
I mean, you're a pretty skinny guy. I'm just saying. I don't think this was.
Well, yeah, you can try it if you want.
Oh, you're saying I'm fat now? No, Scott. No, I think it's a very cool design, and I think it was something that we saw announced, and it's been a while to come to fruition. But you've been throwing it into your kit for the last few days, and you've been talking about it. So, do you think that this is going to become like a standard idea going forward in this industry?
Yeah, I think so, because it's not just a tripod. Because if you want to do low angles, you can detach this part.
Yeah.
You can, it's like inches from the ground. And with other tripods, you have this, so you're limited.
Right.
And the same thing with locking something. It's the little features that does the trick. Like, if you want to adjust the height of this, like normally you have this, but after a while it will slip because it loosen up. But what they've done here is they put a lock. So like if you lock it in here and you click it, it won't go open, so it doesn't go down. And that after a while it will be still like as was.
This is also good if you're someone that sets up something and leave it static in a place that other people are going to use it and you just don't want to make anything change. This makes sure it all stays together where you put it. Well, we'll keep an eye on this, of course. We'll put links down below, but SmallRig always doing cool stuff, and you guys are always asking to stop by. We listen. Chris, thank you so much, man.
It was a pleasure.